Welcome students, welcome back to GK's education. As you all know, partnership accounts is going on and we are doing the very important topic, Goodwill. So in previous video, we did the treatment of Goodwill in which we completed the premium method in detail. In this video, the second and the last one method, that is the revaluation method, we are going to do in detail with all the entries with examples. So it is my humble request that if you are liking my videos, if you are getting your points clear, then please do not forget to like and subscribe my channel. Now let us come to the video. So it is a revaluation method. In this method, in this method is followed when the new partner does not bring his share of goodwill in cash. Means in the previous method, that is the premium method, the valuation of goodwill was done when the partner brings his share of goodwill in cash. But here this method is followed when the new partner does not bring his share of goodwill in cash. Then at this time, the goodwill account is raised in the books by crediting the old partners in old profit sharing ratio. That is what we have to do. And then when yes by crediting the old partners in the old profit sharing ratio, when the goodwill account is to be raised in the books, there are two possibilities. In that case, when we raise the goodwill account, there are two possibilities. Number one, when no goodwill appears in the books at the time of admission, and number two, when the goodwill already exists in the books at the time of admission. Now we will see how the treatment is. Now first case is when no goodwill exists in the books. In that case, when the no goodwill exists in the books at the time of admission of a new partner, the goodwill account must be raised at its full value. That it is to be kept in mind very clearly. When no goodwill exists at the time of admission, and so the goodwill will be raised at its full value, that is the agreed value at which all the partners will agree at that time. It can be done by debiting the goodwill account with its full value and crediting the old partners account in their profit sharing ratio. Old partners in their old profit sharing ratio, that is to be clear. Now the entry will be goodwill account debit to old partners capital account, to old partners capital account individually. Narration will be goodwill raised to full value in the old profit sharing ratio. Here goodwill shall appear in the balance sheet of the firm at its full value. So whenever we will raise the goodwill in the books, so it will be entered. Here a debit is there, so it will be shown in the balance sheet. Now that it will be more clear with the help of an example. Here A and B are the partners in the firm sharing the profits and losses in the ratio 3:2. C is admitted as new partner for 1/5 share of profit which he acquires equally from A and B. Goodwill is valued at 30,000 and C brings 16,000 as capital but could not bring any money for goodwill. No goodwill account exists in the book. Now conditions are clearly given. Goodwill account is raised at full value. So when when the goodwill is raised at full value, whenever the new partner will bring the money, a cash account debit to C's capital 16,000 for the capital brought by him. Now goodwill is to be raised, so goodwill account debit 30,000 to A's capital to B's capital in their old profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2. Now goodwill will appear in the balance sheet at rupees 30,000, as only debit is there, no written off is there. Okay, so sometimes the partners bring in a part of his share of goodwill. Then after distributing the amount brought for goodwill among the old partners in their sacrificing ratio, the goodwill account is raised in the books on the portion of the goodwill not brought by the new partner. Now it is second condition. So how the treatment will be done? Let us check this example. P and S are the partners sharing the profit in the ratio 3:3. They admit T, a new partner, for one third share of profit. T is to bring 30,000 as his share of goodwill, as the total value of goodwill is estimated 90,000. But he brings only 15,000, that is half of what is due. In this case, after due credit of 15,000 to P and S capital's account in their sacrificing ratio, the goodwill account will be raised by 45,000, that is half of its value, by crediting the old partners in the profit sharing in their old profit sharing ratio. Now it is to be kept very much clearly. Sacrificing ratio for the credit given for the goodwill brought in by the partner, and for the goodwill not brought, old profit sharing ratio will be there. So it is to be kept very much clearly in the mind. Now, second condition, when goodwill already exists in the books. If the books already show some balance in the goodwill account, the adjustment for goodwill in the old partner's capital account shall be made only for the difference between the agreed value of goodwill and the amount of goodwill appears in the books. It is to be very clearly kept in the mind. Now, when the goodwill, when the here few conditions are there. When the value of goodwill appearing in the books is less than the agreed value, when the goodwill value is less as compared to the agreed value, then goodwill accounted debit to old partners capital account in the old profit sharing ratio. That means we are raising the goodwill of the balance figure to the value, and it will be credited in the old partners profit sharing ratio. The difference between the agreed value of goodwill and the amount of goodwill appearing in the books, so the difference it will be raised. And now second condition, when the value of goodwill appearing in the books is more than the agreed value. When the value is more than the agreed value, it is to be kept in mind, always the goodwill will be shown in the balance sheet at agreed value. So in that case, we have to write off the part of goodwill which is more. Then old partners capital account in the old profit sharing ratio to goodwill credit is given. That means we are reducing back the goodwill to the agreed value. Now here is an example. A, B are the partners in the firm sharing the profits 3:2. C is admitted for one third share in the profit. He brings 10,000 as capital but is not in a position to bring money for goodwill which is valued at 30,000. Now give the entries for first cases when there is no goodwill, second case when goodwill appears for 15,000, and third case when goodwill appears for 35,000 in the books. So for first case, when no goodwill appears in the books, cash account debit to seize capital for the amount brought for capital, that means 10,000. Now goodwill account, when no goodwill appears, in that case we will raise the goodwill to the full value. So goodwill accounted debit 30,000 to A's capital to B's capital in the old profit sharing ratio, that is 18,000 and 12,000. And here goodwill appear at 30,000. For second condition, when goodwill appears at 15,000, means it is valued at 30,000 but it appears at 15,000. Same entry for the capital brought, and then the second entry will be goodwill accounted debit for 15,000, that is the difference between both of them, to A's capital to B's capital 3:2. Third case, when goodwill appears at 36,000, in that case same entry for this, and 6,000 the goodwill is overvalued, over appearing at 6,000, so that will be credited is capital account B's capital in the ratio 3:2 to goodwill. Now again more points. Number 1, when goodwill is raised in the books of the firm, it will be shown in the balance sheet at its agreed value. It is always shown at agreed value among the partners. Second point, the partners decide that if the partners decide that after necessary adjustments have been made in old partners capital account, the goodwill should not appear in the firm's balance sheet, in that case it has to be written off, and this is done by capital account of all the partners. That means old plus new, all the partners to goodwill in the new profit sharing ratio. It is to be kept in mind in the new profit sharing ratio. The net effect will be the new partner's capital account will be debited to the extent of his share of goodwill, and old partner's capital account will be credited to their sacrifice ratio. So goodwill will be nil. Now let us be more clear with example. A and B are the partners sharing profits and losses equally. They admit C into the partnership and new ratio is 4 is to 3 is to 2. C is unable to bring any time goodwill. He brings 25,000 as capital. Goodwill is valued at 18,000. Give the entries when the partners do not want goodwill to appear in the balance sheet. When he will bring capital, cash to C's capital. Now goodwill account debit. It will be 18,000. So goodwill account debit 18,000 to A and B. Goodwill raised at its full value 18,000 because earlier partners sharing the profits and losses equally. So their old profit sharing ratio goodwill will be 99,000 each. Now when goodwill will be written off to A's capital, B's capital, C's capital in the new profit sharing ratio 4 is to 3 is to 2, goodwill will be written off 18,000. So sometimes the partners again some important information. Sometimes the partners may decide not to show the goodwill account anywhere. So in that case, for adjustment of goodwill, just one entry will be passed by debiting the new partner's capital account with his share of goodwill and crediting the old partner's capital account in their sacrifice ratio. Only one condition, when they do not show goodwill account anywhere. So this was all about the treatment of goodwill in the books of a firm when admission of new partner is there. So definitely from the coming video we will move to the next topics. Again I'm requesting, if you're liking my videos, please do not forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Have a nice time.